seeing the need in our own classrooms, as well as hearing from other pastors that their recognition of a weakness in Bible history for our catechism students, wanted to work and see if there was a way to fold that instruction together, both the catechism and Bible history review, or even instruction in the first place, depending on the situation. And so that was the main goal, was to try to cover what we had been doing well, but then also bolster the Bible history components as well. Some places may, if you have 5th and 6th grade in one class and 7th and 8th grade in one class, might use the Bible history course, Growing in the Word, to the first 2 years, and then maybe go to the catechism course, Growing in Grace, for the 7th and 8th grade years. In our situation in California, we have a combined class of 5th through 8th grade, so I alternate the courses one every year. So over the course of those 4 years, they hit both courses twice. I've spoken with different congregations that are using them in different ways. One congregation in particular is using the Growing in Grace for their catechism instruction, and they're using Growing in the Word for their middle school, Sunday school curriculum. So they've kind of got both working together at the same time. So hopefully both courses are flexible enough to use in a lot of different ways to meet any of the needs that a congregation may have for their kids. Further our understanding of Bible history, as well as the doctrinal concepts from the small catechism. But they come at it from different angles. The Growing in Grace, the catechism course, will take a Bible narrative and build on that to explain, at least introduce, if not teach, the doctrinal concepts of the first article, or the sixth commandment, or whatever. Growing in the Word comes at it from the opposite direction. It goes, each lesson goes through chronologically in Bible history, and then brings in parts of the small catechism to help show how these doctrinal teachings aren't just sitting there in isolation. They're actually real. They have practice in God's Word, the lives of God's people, both in Bible times as well as today. For example, the first lesson in Growing in the Word on creation not only has the first article, which is a pretty obvious connection, but then also the sixth commandment with, as God establishes marriage, which you see different applications, different uses there of the catechism throughout the Bible history course as well. I think for myself personally, what I enjoy about both courses is the foundation of Bible history in both of them. Whether it's the main emphasis or the supporting emphasis, Growing in the Word is the main, or Growing in Grace is the supporting. That just to have those Bible narratives there helps to really connect with the students. You get rolling and in the story and seeing God's love and His message that way. The courses are both flexible. They can, the pastor can stop and take time to emphasize a point, maybe even beyond what's the questions are printed in the book, to emphasize something, make connections to what has happened in worship recently, or in another lesson in a chapel devotion, or what have you. Growing in Grace, the catechism course, also presents things in a different order than traditional catechism instruction does, or has, that I've used and done and seen. That the creed comes first. The creed and the sacraments come first, and then the commandments come after. I've found that useful to be able to really spend time digging into justification, sanctification throughout the creed. And then when you get to the law, you get to the commandments, the uses of the law, that instruction comes much more naturally in this order than when I've done it other ways before. You almost felt like you had to teach those quickly to explain the three uses of the law. This way, it's all set as you get to those lessons. Hopefully everything is presented in a way that is easy to follow. The key terms and the review questions and those sorts of things are all color-coded so that they stand out, and the important parts of the lesson kind of jump off the page to the students. They have the entire year's worth of material there in one book. It lays flat on the desk, so it's easy to write in and take notes in. And hopefully it's just a volume that not only is useful in the classroom and at home during the catechism years, but even sits on the shelf alongside the catechism and maybe is a useful resource in the even years after confirmation to say, what did we talk about in this, and be able to have an easy reference if even their own thoughts that they had in 7th and 8th grade.